Nintendo Pulse, episode number 19. And hey everybody, and welcome to the Nintendo Pulse, episode number 19. I just like that music. It's been so long, sir. I just wanted to groove for a little bit extra. Don't sue me. Don't make fun of me. I like the music. I'm going to turn it up again.
I didn't say anything.
And you know what? That music is so good. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to put the other music on.
Welcome to the...
Oh, that's not the other music. This is the other. No, that's not the other one. There we go. That's awesome. You're not dancing. I'm very disappointed. There we go. All right, it's been a while, so we're getting a little silly. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison, and this is Nintendo Pulse Podcast, episode 19. Joining me, Edgar First. Edgar,
what's up, guys?
How you doing?
Good. It's been a while, dude.
It's been a very long while. We're recording this on October 3rd, 2011, and you'll probably hear it within 6 weeks. So there you go.
6 weeks?
All right. That's what I took last time. We recorded a bunch of episodes, and I was so incredibly busy that nothing was posted for about 6 weeks on the podcast.
Are you serious?
feed.
So there was something recorded that you didn't post of ours?
Yeah, I was. I basically what I do now is I record the video, and then I have to strip the audio from the video, clean it up, and then post it, and then post the video. And I was just so crazy busy. Last 2 weeks of August into September, it was insane. I told people in the news posts that I would let you know a little bit about what happened, and it's nothing serious, nothing crazy. It's just real life. I work at a university, so it gets really busy rolling into September, and 2 kids starting school. My little girl, Allie, started preschool, Nick's in kindergarten, so getting them all ready, work, and then all these other things. It was just crazy. And then I had like this plague that lasted about like 3 weeks, where I was like coughing and hacking and stuff. So it's been a crazy little while, but I'm back and ready to go. And you have an awesome astronaut on your shirt. I love it.
Oh yeah, I've never seen this shirt. This shirt's wicked.
It was good. I like it. So yeah, that's pretty much the reason why it took so long to get up here. And I think what I've kind of decided is that I'm probably going to be taking the month of September off for every other year that I do podcasting, just because it is so crazy. I'll just like plan to not do any shows, and then I won't feel bad for not getting them up there. And I think that would be perfect. That would be the way to go.
Oh, I'm glad you're not seeing it.
Do you concur?
So in September 2012, we won't be doing shows for the entire month.
No. And maybe even part of August into October. Maybe we won't even do anything.
Busy man.
Edgar's planning vacations now. I can just see his little tiny gears in his head just kind of turning
Monday
a little bit.
Nights just opened up for me. I'm excited. You know how much you could do on a Monday night?
No, it's a lot, just crazy stuff. It's insane.
Crazy. It's just nuts.
So Edgar, how you been, my friend?
Dude, good. Did you hear that Arrested Development's coming back for like 10 episodes plus the movie?
Yeah. Did you hear that Netflix is bidding on them because they want to have the TV rights to it after the first air? So the first air will happen on Fox or whatever, and then Netflix is trying to buy them up so they can get all the repeats.
Interesting, because I think Hulu's going to put up a big fight, because I originally read the news off of the Hulu Twitter feed. So I think Hulu's going to put up a massive fight, and I'm surprised if they don't have some kind of arrangement already.
Yeah, I'd be amazed. But Netflix is taking an absolute beating. Their stock is worth 30% of what it was worth because of all these crazy things. They got to throw people a bone and get people over there. And Arrested Development was such a hit, a cult favorite. Another one of the brainiacs that Fox, their high up project manager or product manager or whatever. Another one of the great shows that they canceled, like Firefly. Actually, they didn't even just cancel Firefly. They actually aired the episodes out of order because the one they aired first had more action, even though it didn't introduce any of the people in it. They played episode 6 first instead of episode 1. Like all these crazy things. They're just idiots. And this kind of proves it. When did it stop airing? Like 5 years ago, and people are still talking about it being like one of the best TV shows ever. So yeah, hopefully that'll come back.
Wait, are you talking about Firefly or are you talking about Arrested Development?
Arrested Development.
I think it's even more than that. Arrested Development stopped, I think, it
was a while. It was
early 2000s.
Yeah, it was in the 2000s for sure. But yeah, crazy. But I love me some Arrested Development.
Let me look it up now.
The blues are good. So, but while you look that up, just want to make mention that we
2006.
are 2006. Hey, 5 years,
Actually,
6 years.
You're right on the money.
Wow, look at that! I'm so smart. SMRT. We are a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Find other shows like this over at techpodcast.com. And Edgar, you've been waiting for this for a while. What you been playing?
Oh man, I've actually been playing quite a bit since we last spoke, and I was kind of bummed that we didn't speak earlier because I'm not sure if I mentioned this the last podcast, but finally downloaded my other games that I had on my DS, on my old one, and to my 3DS.
Oh, you did that? Your DSi, you transferred them over? How did that go? Because I couldn't do that because I sold mine.
That's true. No, it went really well, and it's funny because since I have those games with me all the time. What sucks is like you transfer the games, but nothing saves. Like your saves don't come through, and I'm not sure if I did something wrong because there's not really a lot of options. But yeah, it wouldn't. When I went into Pictobits, which is one of my favorite games, and I beat when I was in Europe like a year and a half or almost 2 years now. I expected to be able to jump in and play some of the harder levels, and nothing was unlocked. So of course that unlocked the obsessive compulsive me. I was like, I gotta beat this again. I gotta open up all levels because I really enjoy this game. So yeah, I'm in the process of that. I beat all the regular levels. I'm like I think on 11 or 12 of the dark levels, and that game I forgot how difficult that game gets.
Yeah, it gets stupid really fast, but it's good. It's a really, really good game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of which game like is getting to the point where it gets to a point where it's not even just skill.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have to remember all the pieces that are going to be coming down, along with being able to be just absurdly fast with the pixels. I mean, with the stylus to pick up the pixels. But I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm still digging that. Been playing some Star Fox 64 3D.
Nice. What do you think?
I think it's fantastic. It's great. It's
I picked it up as well. It's actually in my DS. I love it. It's good. I mean, I've played this game. I memorized every single level when it was on the 64, and I knew all the secret paths and knew all the patterns. So I knew, like, after you shoot this guy, you shoot up in this corner because 3 guys come in and all that stuff. And it's amazing how, even though it's kind of a redone version, all those patterns kind of translate for the most part. Like, I kind of, muscle memory takes over, and I kind of totally know what to do without even remembering the levels. Like I see some things, I'm like, oh yeah, that's in this level. Meanwhile, I'm actually shooting guys that are coming out because my body remembers that they come out here. It's actually kind of good what they did. They did a really impressive conversion of this to the 3D, and I don't know, it's really awesome. It was actually
it feels great. It feels the graphics are nicely updated.
Yep.
It doesn't feel dated.
Yeah, and it's actually, it seems like it's worth the money. Unlike pretty much every other 3DS game that I bought except for Zelda, which is kind of weird. The only 2 games that I feel are worth the money are remakes that I already own on my 64.
Yeah,
I don't know, Nintendo. Damn you, Nintendo. Awesome.
Other than that, picked up Gears of War 3 on launch date, and then installed it, and then had to wait till one of our good friends, Jose, bought it to play online because he was the only one that did not purchase, or he bought it off of Amazon, was waiting for it to be shipped while me and Steve had pre-ordered it at GameStop. And then other than that, just a couple 3DS games, iPhone games, 360. Cool. Trying to think of anything on the PS3 that I've been playing. I think that's about it. Yeah, 360. A lot of Gears and 3DS, 3DS stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. What have you been playing, sir?
I've been playing a lot of stuff. I've been playing real life sports or watching real life sports. And football's going crazy here. We have the CFL team in Winnipeg, the Blue Bombers. So been going to all the Bomber games, and NHL just came back. So we actually have an NHL team for the first time in 16 years. So Winnipeg Jets are back. So I've been going to all the preseason Jets games and watching them on TV. And I didn't manage to get season tickets, which kind of sucks. They sold out in like 23 seconds. It was unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah, it was insane, and the tickets are super expensive too. So instead of I put myself on the wait list, and it's probably going to take like 3 years before I actually get a chance to buy season tickets. So instead of waiting and sulking, I actually went and bought myself a new television. So I bought a 50-inch plasma so I could watch all the games on TV because they
plasma.
Who?
Which,
Panasonic?
yeah, who?
Panasonic Viera.
The VR? Which
50.
one? The ST, GT?
ST3, ST30 or something like that.
Yeah,
It's
boy.
it's really really nice.
Yeah, I bought the same one.
And it's the high end panel that doesn't have 3D in it because I didn't really want to go 3D yet. I want to wait
Hmm.
till different 3D tech comes out. So
Hmm.
it's like dirt cheap, and the picture is unbelievable. Like it
How
was,
should you pick it up for?
I think it was like $800 or something. Like it
Oh my
was on
God,
sale. It dropped. It was regular 1099, and it was on sale for 800. So I picked it up and set it up, and yeah, just watching sports in HD on a big set. Like I have a 32. I have two 32-inch screens, so 50 is a pretty big upgrade. Playing games and all that stuff just looks so much better.
Oh yeah.
But since all the tickets sold out here so fast, our local the buyers that bought the Jets moved up the Atlanta Thrashers up to here. They actually made a deal with TSN, which is like ESPN for Canada, and there's a regional channel called TSN Jets. So every single game is now on TV. So I can save the $2,000 that I would have spent on season tickets and now watch all the games on TV for $800, which is a good deal. Watch them all, and now I get to play all my PS3 games and everything else on a nice bigger screen. So it was kind of win. I was actually really glad how it all worked out. Even though I'd rather be watching the games live, but since I knew that wasn't going to happen, this is a close second.
Awesome.
So yeah, so been doing that. I picked up NHL 12 because that came out. I picked it up on PS3 and been playing that a lot. It's just amazing how accurate and how amazing the AI is on these games now. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of bugs, so I'm waiting for a patch for this game. Things like where people get stuck in the boards coming off the bench and other weird things. Like you shoot a puck and it goes through somebody. And it's just
wow.
like, no, you are not a ghost because you hit me, you checked me into the boards, so I know you're not a ghost. Other things like that. So I'm waiting for a patch for that. Also recently picked up Uncharted 2 since it was on sale for $20. And I was like, okay, I need to pick this game up since I haven't already. And I got to tell you, I think that's now my favorite PS3 game of all time.
Oh,
It's
dude, it's
so
amazing.
good. And people told me that.
I could not put it down. I play games very sparsely from
Yeah.
time to time,
You
and
pick up a
it takes
game and then you play 5 minutes and you're like, oh yeah, it's a great game. And then you pick it up again in 6 months and like, oh yeah, this game's awesome. And then six
yeah,
months later, it's like, hey, I beat the first mission. This is great.
yeah. Well, I mean, now you could attest. Uncharted 2 is amazing.
Yeah,
It is just a
it's so
stupidly
good.
awesome game.
Yeah, I really dig it. I wish I would have picked it up earlier, but since it's the Game of Year edition, it has all the DLC for free and all that stuff. So that's kind of cool. So I'm making my way through that. Playing a bunch of other things, Saboteur, Dragon Age 2. Since I have a big TV now, out of the living room into the basement where it's kind of like my little man cave. I'm now playing more games because I don't have to worry about waking up the kids because it's the TV room, the living room area is kind of right by where the bedrooms are. So now I actually have some man cave time, so it's been really awesome. I'm really
Nice.
glad the whole thing worked
There's
out really
nothing
good.
better. There's nothing better than Man Cave time.
No, it's good. Nothing like curling up in a man cave, and that's where I'll leave it. I'll leave it right there. And also been playing some Star Fox 64 3D like you, and a bunch of other things. Other stuff. Four Swords Adventure just came out on the DS for free, so you can pick that one up. And other stuff. Yeah, it's been good. I've been playing games all around. A lot of iOS stuff, because that's when I'm doing work, dropping the kids off, picking them up, doing all that stuff. I get 5 minutes here and there, so I've been playing a lot of games on the iPhone, and then late at night before bed, I'll play a couple games on the iPad, like Shadowgun, which I just reviewed on the Touch of Gaming today. It's basically Gears of War on the iPad. It's pretty amazing. It looks really good, plays really well.
Really?
The game is really kind of segmented into little rooms that enemies run in, and then you kill them, and then the door opens, you go into the next room. But other than that, it's actually really good. I'm really quite happy with that game as well.
Oh, cool.
But that's about it for what you've been playing. What do you say we get into the rest of the show?
Let's do it.
All right, so just wanted to cover a couple notable releases, stuff that just came out and stuff that will be coming out, just because it's been a while since we last did a show. And also wanted to, actually, before we do that, I wanted to mention one other thing. I released 4 episodes on one day. So 3 Touch of Gamings and a Nintendo Pulse. So if you subscribe to like the VG Podcast channel or the Touch of Gaming channel, most podcatchers, most apps that you use to download podcasts will only download the most recent show. And since I released everything all in one day, that probably means that you have 2 or 3 unplayed episodes that you might not have known are there. So just want to make mention of that. So if you haven't heard a bunch of shows in a row, you might want to go update your feeds and manually go in and download those other shows, just so you can be sure to have all the reviews and stuff. We reviewed actually a lot of stuff on the Touch of Gaming, so there's a lot of content there for you guys to go listen to. So go check it out. All right, let's do this. Cool. Notable releases on the Virtual Console. Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins just came out this week, and that is obviously the second Super Mario Land on the Game Boy. 6 Golden Coins was the first appearance of Wario, I believe. A great game. I have this one and cartridge, and I pick it up from time to time when I actually have batteries in my Game Boy. It's available for download for $4, and it's probably one of the best $4 purchases that you'll make on the Virtual Console and the 3DS. So you'll definitely want to go do that if you like platformers. It is a really, really good platformer. And for $4, you might as well grab it. Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventure has been released, and that was the one that Miyamoto said would be coming out and would be free. So go download it. It's free. Check it out. Download it and have fun with it. It's 4 players. It's basically the Game Boy Advance game, I believe, that you actually had to hook up multiple controllers and all that crazy stuff. There was you had to have 4 Game Boy Advances and 4 games and 4 cables and 4 cases of beer to figure it all out and make it stomachable. Now you can download it and play it for free over Wi-Fi, so it's pretty awesome that way. And also just wanted to let you guys know about updated release dates for 3DS games. Since we didn't talk about that, Super Mario 3D Land, which is the stupidest name for a game ever, will be coming out on November 13th, and Mario Kart 7 will be coming out on December 4th. Those release dates were announced at a little pre-E3 press conference that Nintendo had, or pre-Tokyo Game Show press conference, I believe, or something like that. I can't remember when they were released, but we didn't do a show, so I wanted to make mention of it as well. And the other thing that came out was the more info on what is the second slide pad adapter thing. We never got around to talk about that, Edgar. Do you want to talk about it a little bit? I know you're going to get angry right now and start throwing things, and I think that'll look really good on video. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Oh God, really? Do I have to rehash it? It's an announcement that I was hoping that wouldn't happen. It happened anyway. And what is it? It's going to be compatible with several games, big games.
It's coming out with Monster Hunter 3.
Yep.
Monster Hunter 3D. And basically it's this little unit that slaps on the bottom of your 3DS and sticks out really far. And it has a circle pad right here. And then it has 2 little shoulder buttons right here. And it still allows you to use your other buttons as well. So you'll have a circle pad here and a circle pad there. Then you can stretch over and touch those buttons and then have 2 shoulder buttons. And it's coming out. So basically what...
Yeah, I read a headline one time that completely accurately describes the way I feel, having been like one of the first people to buy a 3DS, is something like current 3D owners, how do you feel being the largest
beta test
study group for Nintendo, or beta testers, and it's totally accurate.
I paid $250 for this.
Yeah,
and it's now $80 cheaper, and an accessory is coming out that's going to add more functionality to it, and you know that all new models will have that built into it. So I paid $250, and Nintendo kind of repeatedly screwed me. I'm not too happy right now with the way this is going. The circle pad kind of makes me angry. I'm still going to get it, obviously, because I'm going to want to have the new games that come out that support it. I've been corrected in the chat room. It's Monster Hunter 3G, not 3D, 3G. I'm going to want to get that game, and it only supports the circle pad, I believe, or the adapter, or maybe it plays without it, but it's going to play much better with it or something. And other games are going to be coming out that will support it. But yeah, I don't know. Nintendo should have not put gyro control into this game because it is horrible. To actually play a game with gyro in 3D is impossible. No one's going to lock their arms or come up with some weird pulley system to attach it to your neck so that when you move your neck, the thing stays solid with you. They should have put a second circle pad and not put gyro in and charged $80 less, and it would have been the perfect system. But no, they had to make us beta test, focus group test their stuff, which kind of sucks actually.
Anyway,
right.
so yeah. So what else did you want to talk about?
That was awesome. That's about all I wanted to mention for release dates. What do you say we get into the news with something that I never thought would happen? So remember a little game called Super Smash Brothers?
I've heard of it.
It came out 5 years ago? 4 years ago? 5 years? When did the Wii come out? 2004.
Yeah, it came out 5 years. Because the Wii's 6 years old, I think.
Yeah, so
I think Smash Brothers came out like a year after,
something like that. So it's about 5 years old or whatever, and it's obviously a fighting game, and it's a game that is actually really super popular still in fighting tournaments. It came out in 2006. Jesse's helping us in the chat room. So yeah, 5 years. I'm like bang on with my dates lately. That's
well, at least with 2006. You may not remember any of the year. But with anything that happened in 2006, you're spot on.
Everything after that is just a drunken blur. Because that's when I had kids.
Brawl was actually released in the United States in 2008. March 9, 2008.
What? Really?
That's what it says. Brawl? It says January 31st for Japan, March 9th for North America,
3 years ago.
2008.
Really?
Unless I'm looking at something else. But Brawl, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, looks like it was released in 2008. Unless Wikipedia is completely wrong.
Yeah, the Wii was 2006. Oh yeah, 2008 was the game. That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, about a year after the Wii came out, which is kind of what we were saying. So yeah, okay, we were right. We know what we're talking about.
I like how no matter what year it was, you're still right. That's amazing.
Like I said, I had kids
for 2006, and then you found out it was 2008, and you're like, oh yeah.
It was 1994. What are you talking about? Come on. Works. A great year, 1994. That's when it came out.
You did that with a straight face too. That was awesome.
Anyway, this game's been out for what? A few years, more than a year, and less than 10 years. So it's been out for that weird period of time. But it's still used a lot in fighting tournaments. People love the game. Well, just recently, a character was banned because he's overpowered. It took that long. It took like 4 years for him to be banned, and that character is. Drum roll.
Meta Knight.
You didn't wait for the drum roll.
Oh, yeah, Meta Knight.
You ruined it, man.
Kirby's nemesis.
I don't know if I can continue with the show. I just ruined it.
We're out of practice. We're getting back to it.
Screwed it up. I'm just kidding.
So but it's as Lloyd mentioned, as of January 9th, 2012, and it's amazing that it's a hard date. It's like, why couldn't they just start clean in 2012? They have to wait 9 days into 2000. Like, there's something going on between the 1st and the 8th. That they can't possibly. Well,
they wanted people to have a whole week to enjoy Meta Knight, because you can never play him after that, and it's like you get a whole week, and they're like, "But I want more than a week." They're like, "Okay, week and a day. There you go. After that, no more Meta Knight. He's dead to you, dead to everybody in the professional tournaments." The little metal face guy with a big sword and a cape, he's gone. Can't play him anymore.
It's funny because it's not like 6 months from now. It's such an odd time, and I don't know what it is. And
maybe there's a big tournament or something. There must be a big like world tournament or something. It must be shortly after. But yeah, he's actually the one character that my wife picks all the time when we used to play, and she would just like destroy me repeatedly with him. So he is big time overpowered, or I just suck. One or the other. But professional people are backing me up, so it must be that he's overpowered. And I'm just going to put it that way. Stick with that, and that's it.
Now, this is what I wanted to talk about. Like, you and I played games before in the past, and we played games with people. Now, there's games.
I've never played games with people. What are you talking about?
You'll play games like Mario Kart, where you kind of devise your own rules within a group.
Yep.
And I'm surprised that people don't kind of already know, hey, don't pick Meta Knight when you're competing professionally, or you'll be looked down upon type thing, Like, I'm surprised that it's like an unspoken, that it's not an unspoken rule.
Yeah. It's like
that this actually has to take place.
Yeah, it's like there should be an unspoken rule. Just like you don't like when you play Street Fighter 2, you don't like repeatedly throw someone. Like there's tricks where you can repeatedly throw people and get them stuck and do that. You don't do that. That's not the way you play. Just like when we used to play Mario Kart a lot, and you're playing the battle mode, we would say no red shells. so you could only use green shells.
Really?
So you'd have you'd have to drive into a wall, shoot off your red shells, and then drive away without getting hit by green shells. So it actually made it more difficult because you're trying to get rid of your red shells because you'd insta lose if you hit someone with a red shell. And yeah, we just came up with this crazy rule, and that was how it was.
We did on Mario Kart 64 when we would do the races. We did you can't shoot someone with a shell while doing one of those long ramps. The ones that like would take forever to fall.
That
like
was
it wasn't
always
like
awesome.
oh you get hit and then you'd get dropped. It was like you get a hit and then you would tumble or fall for like a minute and a half. For some
and
reason,
then get picked up.
Was off.
Yeah, I remember that. That was always fun. Or you set traps right before the start of the ramp, so someone dies and then just tumbles down forever.
Yeah, they just spin. They just keep spinning and spinning off the ramp, and then they fall.
I remember that. That was great.
Yeah.
Oh, memories of griefing your friends. It's so much fun. So anyway, the moral of the story: don't pick Meta Knight anymore. He's banned. I mean, I guess
and
you
should
could play
know
with
better.
him.
If you're playing professional tournaments, you should probably know better.
You should. That's the way it is. And that's it.
The way the cookie crumbles.
All right, moving on with that horrible voice that Edgar just did. Something cool just came to your 3DS for free on the store. You can download 3D trailers for all the new games that are coming out, which is kind of, oh yeah, been there, done that. It's been there before. But what makes these ones kind of unique is after you watch the video, or I guess even before, there's a little notifications button on the bottom screen. If you click it, you can actually set yourself up for Spot Pass notifications for that particular game. So you can watch the trailer for Super Mario 3D Land, comment to yourself on how stupid of a name it is. But then if you want to get more info on it, you just go down to notifications, turn Spot Pass on, and whenever there's updates to the game, like when it's getting close or when, I don't know, new movies are available or new websites, or they just want to send out stuff to bug you, they can actually send you a Spot Pass notification directly to your 3DS. Pretty cool. And I guess it's just another way to be directly informed by Nintendo about something that you already want to know about. So it's kind of a cool little feature. Not something that I ever thought Nintendo would do, kind of like social marketing type stuff. But they're doing it, and it's pretty awesome. I signed up for all the games that I want to get info on, and I urge you to do so as well. Plus, the videos are pretty cool. The trailer for Super Mario 3D Land just gets me so damn excited for this game. I cannot wait.
It's available?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Man.
They have this really cool... it's like an item block with a propeller on the top, and when you hit it, it gets stuck on your head, and it sends you off into the air, and you fly with it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. So yeah, check it out. It's really good.
Cool.
All right, moving on. I guess I'm doing the next one. Skyward Sword. Edgar just didn't pick up the ball and run with it. He just kind of sat there and said, "What's that Lloyd doing?"
I said, "What's next?"
Yeah. So, are you excited for Skyward Sword at all?
I am, only because it's one of those type of games that are like long lost. You know, that only a fraction of people have ever even heard of the game.
Yeah, you know, I got to be honest with you. I was not excited for a while.
Okay.
I was a little bit jaded with Nintendo, with all the stuff that happened with the Wii and stuff like that. And all the demos of this at E3 and stuff kind of just made me say, this game's going to be okay. Not something I'm going to want, not something I'm going to be excited about. And then I started watching videos. There's been some videos that have been posted recently and reading a lot of previews. And this game is now exciting me more than any other game coming out, except for maybe Skyrim. I think Skyrim is number one. It's Skyrim and then Skyward Sword. So two skies, the sky and then the sky.
When you were asking me about Skyward Sword, for some reason I thought Four Sword Adventure.
What?
And I thought you were going to lead into...
No. Skyward Sword, the Wii version with the motion,
one.
The Wii Motion Plus.
No, I was totally anti this game. Mm-hmm. Like with that poor performance at E3 where it just wouldn't work.
Miyamoto failed repeatedly. It was kind of comical except sad at the same time.
And I skipped it entirely at E3 because I was just like, you know what? I just don't have the time to play that. There's other things I'd rather play right now. Mm-hmm. So no, I felt the exact same way. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and all the videos that have been released lately, and all the previews and the reviews, actually, or not the reviews, the first looks and things like that, really have me excited for this game. Some stuff that have come out from interviews with Nintendo. This game has been developed more than any other game in Nintendo's existence. They've had more manpower hours spent on this game than any other game. Something stupid, like a couple hundred people working for 3 years or whatever the numbers are. It was some huge number, and this is going to be one of the longest Nintendo games that have ever come out. People are saying like 40 to 50 hours of gameplay in the game, plus side quests and things like that. And I thought it was just going to be another like 8-minute run to this village, get annoyed by Navi, run to this one, I don't know, milk some cows, kill some things, get the Triforce. Yeah, I won the game. But it actually looks like they're adding a lot of stuff. Like there's now instead of just a weapon system with swords and bows and arrows and things like that, there's a full like a shield upgrade system, and they're adding like layers to the combat and the puzzles and stuff that no other Zelda has done. So it's more than just a cash grab, which I thought it was for the longest time. It was like, here's a new gimmick, we want to sell Wii Motion Pluses and get this game, and it's going to be another Link's crossbow adventure. But this game is actually really, really exciting me right now, so I cannot wait for this game for when it comes out. So just wanted to mention that on the show, because we haven't really covered it that much, because I've been kind of on it, but I'm actually now really quite excited, and I'm looking forward to it. So you'll be sure to hear a lot more on this game as it gets closer to release.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
I really was not looking forward to it at all. I just, with especially with the Plus, it just seems so like the gameplay just seems so broken.
Yeah.
And even people, and I understand, like it's all in beta, but usually Nintendo does an extremely good job of showing off, their first party titles in a way that they still feel fleshed out, know. And at E3, there were even people struggling there, so it didn't give me high hopes for the game itself. And it was to the point where I was like, you know what, I would almost rather play. What is it? Twilight
Princess.
Twilight Princess. Yeah. So.
I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this. It comes out on November 20th, I believe, is the date. And Nintendo's even coming out with a unique bundle for this one. For an extra $10, I believe, you can get a gold-colored Wii Remote Plus. So it's the one with the Wii Remote, with the Motion Plus built into it. All as part of a bundle with the game. So I'm definitely going to be picking that one up. Just because I kind of want a gold controller, because I'm kind of a loser that way, I guess. But cool. Yeah, it's can't wait. We'll definitely be covering this a lot more when this game gets released.
Sweet. All right, what's next?
All right, well, speaking more about the 3DS, our stories are kind of out of order because Edgar screwed it up, and I'm going to put blame solely on your back, because you can't really say anything to prove to people that you didn't do it. Yeah. This is a company called CTA Digital. They make a lot of accessories for gaming devices. They're kind of like a Mad Catz, but not as well known, I guess.
Poor man's Mad Catz.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that. They're coming out with something called the Deluxe Power Grip. And basically what it is it's a little thing that you can slap into the bottom of your 3DS. It snaps on, and it has PS2 styled wings. So it looks like you're holding a PS2 controller. It has extended shoulder pads, which is kind of neat. And the whole thing is filled with a massive battery. So when the 3DS is fully charged, you play it. It basically drains like 4 hours or whatever. You can then charge the grip, and it will actually recharge your whole 3DS and still give you more battery power inside of it. So it effectively more than doubles the amount of battery life that's in your 3DS, and it gives you a nice little nice little control thing to slap it on. I was a big fan of these for like the original Game Boys and Game Boy Advances. I always tried to find like the best add-on controller accessory.
Were you?
And they all kind of sucked.
Because I remember just looking at little kids when they would run around with their old GameCubes and seeing, like, first of all, they'd have the wings on the side for the speakers.
Yeah.
Then they would have like the magnifiers for the buttons to make them bigger.
Yeah.
And then they would have the magnifier over the screen to make it appear larger.
Yeah. The worst I ever saw was this. I think it was Mad Catz even for the original. I think it was the Game Boy Color, so the smaller Game Boy, and it was you slide it into it. It has an analog stick looking thing that goes over the D-pad. It has button extenders. It has wings. It folds out with a magnifying glass, and then these dual speakers fold out on
Yeah.
each side, so you had your tweeter and your bass, so you have better audio, but it was horrible. And I saw kids running around with this all the time, and I wanted to smack them. For me, it was just like a thing that would make it more comfortable to hold, so it basically turns it into more of like a PlayStation controller type thing. I was always trying to find the best one to make it comfortable to hold for long gaming sessions, and never really found anything that looked comfortable, but this one actually looks pretty good. And if you can get double or more power out of this thing, I don't know, I might want to get it. Unfortunately, as soon as the next circle pad attachment thingy, waste of money, screw you guys for buying this thing early, attachment comes from Nintendo, that device is going to be kind of useless, since Nintendo for some stupid reason isn't putting a big battery in that attachment, which seems like a no-brainer, but they're not doing that. So anyway, maybe there'll be a non Nintendo released version of that circle pad attachment that will have a big ass battery inside of it too. That would be pretty cool.
I personally would never use a grip like this, ever, ever, ever. But I could imagine a kid. How about this? I could imagine a kid just leaving this grip in the car.
Yeah.
And just using it when they're doing some kind of trip somewhere.
Yeah.
And getting the extra battery life. And what I did find interesting is the fact that it does charge. It comes with a USB cable, and it charges by USB as well.
Yeah.
So you could use the USB, or you could use your power adapter. So it makes it a little bit easier to charge your 3DS and keep it charged too.
Yeah, exactly, which is pretty awesome. I don't know. Yeah. I probably won't get this because I've grown past that, but it's when I saw that, I'm like, 15-year-old or 12-year-old me would have really loved that. And now I'm a little bit older than that, so I'm too old for that.
You drive yourself to places, unfortunately.
Yeah. I wear the big boy pants, so.
Well, hopefully soon, when you get really, really old, people will drive you around again.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you could use it.
Actually, my son is playing Game Boy all the time now, so maybe that will be something he'll like. He doesn't play the 3DS, but he plays the DS, and he loves all the DS games. So maybe I'll get him some crazy attachments and big ass speakers that fold out, and just to bring me back to the day. That'd be good.
Cool.
All right, moving on. Some more really good DS news. I don't know if this is ever going to come here, though. Have you ever heard of RPG Maker?
Yes, I wanted it so bad. It was on Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah, and then there was a DS version, and it was Japanese only. It never really came here. There was a PlayStation version, I believe, that came out in North America. But I don't believe the portable versions ever came to North America. But it's always something that I always wanted. And essentially what it is it's a game that allows you to make other games. It would be they could make an RPG, and then they could let their friends play it, and it's all like Pokemon style graphics or whatever, and really awesome. They're coming out with RPG Maker Plus by the same company. Enterbrain is bringing it out. You can basically create games in different times now, so they have multiple tile sets that you can use, pre-built buildings and things, so you don't have to build them yourself. There's sci-fi stuff thrown in and things like that. And it's coming out in December in Japan. I want this game to come here. I really, really, really wish this would come here. I want to make an RPG, and I don't want to worry about making the whole game engine myself because I'm lazy. But I still want to make an awesome game to share with my friends and have them laugh at me. Like, this is the type of stuff that I've wanted to do for a while, and I'm just really upset that this is not coming out over here as well. But I wanted to make mention of it because other games have been brought over here because there's been enough uproar from people. Like Retro Game Challenge came over to North America because so many people were up in arms about it not coming over here. So maybe people can get on and make some petitions or something and get this game ported over here, because it would be so awesome to be able to create RPG games on your DS and then share them with your friends. Imagine what you could do with social media now. Like tweet out a link to your game that someone could just download and play. It would just be so cool. And yeah, I really wish this would come out here. So RPG Maker Plus coming to Japan. If you can read Japanese, you're in for a treat. If not, hopefully Enterbrain will do some work and get it sent over here to North America as well.
Awesome. All right, what's next? You want to talk about? You want to have some good news for the 3DS?
Yeah. Why don't you tell people some good news? You can be the good news fairy.
Yeah. Okay.
Where's your wings? Put your wings on.
I think the last podcast, we were all doom and gloom. We had just gotten burned by Nintendo. We kept hearing bad things about Nintendo. The price drop happened. And basically, it looks like Nintendo can pull itself out of this hole, even though it kind of burned people like Lloyd and I as early adopters. It seems like there may be hope for people that are buying into it now and will be buying into the future. The price drop has spurred on increased sales. Nintendo said in this month of September, sales of 3DS held a 260% increase after the price cut, which is awesome for the month of September. Amazon is also reporting that due to the Super Mario Land, God, it's not even Super Mario, it's Super Mario 3D
Land. Stupid name.
Because
I hate it. I hate it.
it's
Nintendo,
so
you suck.
stupid.
Okay, go on.
Are
Continue.
you done?
I'm
You
done.
over it? Okay. That because of also that game coming out and it looming closer and pre-sales going up for that the 3DS is also jumping in sales. Super Mario 3D Land is ranking 70th in the video game division, and that's actually pretty high for a game that's not even out yet. So I imagine once we get closer to the release of it, those numbers will go up, and we'll start seeing. And that's the thing, like it's still this is still a very clear indication to Nintendo that hey, it's not so much the price, although it's helping. It's the games. Once you start releasing more games, this system will sell. And I think Super Mario 3D Land will prove this more strongly once it gets closer to release date. Which do we mention? It's November 13th, like I think Lloyd said earlier. And then of course once Mario Kart 7. Is that the name? Official name, by the way?
Yep, Mario Kart 7. And Nintendo's weird with their names lately. I don't.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, and it makes sense because it is the 7th Mario Kart if you don't count the 2 arcade games that Namco helped develop. But people are gonna say what? So there was like 6 other Mario Karts that I missed, or 5 others because I got the Mario Kart on my DS. So did I miss 5 games? Yeah, it's really weird. I don't get it.
And every one of them has really been named after the console. Except for Super Mario Kart.
Yeah, the only one was Double Dash.
Double Dash. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting time, an interesting few months, especially around Christmas season, because I think that's when you'll really see, kids' Christmas lists coming in, and you'll see the want and desire of like the little kids everywhere for the system. So. I don't know, and that's their demographic. You know what I was thinking about? I was like, what's really crappy about the 3DS? It undermines everything Nintendo built with the DS. And what I mean by that is that the DS was, it was known as being a device that anyone could pick up and play with. that didn't matter if you were young or old. If you were old, you could play Hotel Dusk or buy reading books on the DS. And that completely got blown out the window by making like this 3D console, and making it like it feels like a younger console, does it not? Like with the DS, it almost seemed like I could pitch it to other people. I could pitch it to adults. I could sell it to other people. I could tell them, you know what, you're gonna like this game, this game, this game, this game. With the 3DS, that is completely shot. The first thing they see is the 3D aspect of it. And granted, that could be turned off. But that's the selling. It should I don't even know. It should have been called the 3DS. It should have been called the DS3. I don't know. Or something and it would have been the third one in the series. And let the manufacturers decide whether they want to implement the 3D or not. In a sense, I don't know.
And the thing that kind of screwed it up is the DS was a known quantity. Like when you were developing a game for the DS, you knew that you had 2 screens. They were the exact same size. So you could have a game where you put a little rotation sensor in the cartridge and you know that people can turn it around and that's cool. So Nintendo said, hey, we'll add gyroscopes. But then we added a 3D screen. So if you move it like 1 degree off of center, the screen gets dark and starts flipping. There was really cool games like you mentioned Hotel Dusk, where you'd hold the DS sideways and you'd use it as a book. Well, you
Yeah.
can't really do that now because if you turn it on 3D and you have it like that, I mean, it screws up. Like unless you're looking at it perfectly in front of your face.
Yeah.
And then even then, the 3D effect isn't that good because your eyes, it's more to one than the other, and you get headaches doing it that way or whatever. And
Well, I don't
since
even think the parallax is going to go vertically like that. I
well,
think it only works horizontally.
it does a bit, but yeah, it works better horizontally because your eyes are there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, all you get when you like this, you don't get any 3D look. You just get a headache, which is stupid. So you'd have to turn 3D off to hold it sideways. The screens are different size. So remember games like Yoshi, where you would shoot things from the bottom screen and then we go up to the top and come back down. Well, that's different now because the screens are different size and the gaps are different. So they basically took a game system that had developers that knew everything about it and knew how to how to throw tricks and things that made it seem more than what it was, and changed it 100%, and then charged a whole bunch of money for it, and then price dropped it and said, oh, we could add other stuff to it so people actually buy it. I don't know. I think they really screwed up with this device, and I was like super excited about this when it was announced. Now I realize that it probably was not the best thing to have bought on day one, and maybe I should have waited 6 months. But
Yeah.
but I
I
kind of have to buy it, right? Because I review games for it and
exactly.
tell you people what not to buy, and like don't buy Steel Gunner Silent Wolf Ship sub thing, whatever that crappy game was, because I wasted my $45 on it, and no one else should ever waste their money on that game because it was stupid. But then my buddy bought it off me, so that was okay because he's an idiot too. Not if you listen to the show, I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to call you an idiot. But you like your submarines, so there you are. But yeah, like you know what I mean. Like they took a known quantity and they totally like turned it on its butt, and but not in a good way. Like it's harder for the developers. It's harder for us. The gyroscope in there is just useless. Like why would you put that in there? I mean,
no, in a sense, they got out of their kiddie style because there were a lot of people adults buying the DS, and then they completely went back on it, and it just sucks because it built like the DS built like itself. It was a smart system.
Yeah,
you know, it was a smart system, and it built this reputation of being a smart system, and now all of a sudden, it's a stupid system. It's a dumb system. Like it just seems like Nintendo threw in gadgets and things into it that really have no place working together or in concert with each other. Like you said, the gyroscope and a 3D, really?
It's reminiscent, bringing us all the way back to the talk that we had about those stupid add-ons that people would buy with fold-out speakers and magnifying glasses. They basically did that to their DS and had us rebuy it. And it didn't really work 100%. So
they sold it on the DS side to give us better, speakers and better battery life. Yeah. And then they took it away with the 3DS.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
And it's like I was just getting used to that. Anyway, so, beyond all that.
Yeah, we're not really even bitching about this anymore. We're just talking about things that were wrong and what they can do good. I mean, if they come out with a redesigned 3DS that has better battery life, maybe it has the parallax works a little bit more, so you can move it more than 1 degree off center and not have it go black and give you a headache. If they can fix that and then had the 2 circle pads together, so it's all one integrated unit, and then re-release it for $150, I think they can probably right a lot of the wrongs. Of course, they're going to be pissing off the people that they don't want to piss off, the early adopters that love Nintendo that spent $250 on this. But we got 20 games for free, so we got something for it at least. And I don't know, most people that are early adopters are probably the type of people that buy every single version of the DS that comes out anyway. At least I know I am. So they could totally right this ship, and send it in the proper direction. They just got to really think long and hard and stop doing these little minor like course corrections, which are really just pissing people off more than they're solving anything. So yeah.
One last note is that the week between September 19th and the 25th, the DS did rank number 1 in hardware sales in Japan, which is good. Surprising, just because right now the 3DS hasn't been doing too hot in Japan. There is a game called Marvelous Entertainment's Senran Kagura at number 9. I love Japanese titles. And that one that ranked number one title in the top 10 for that week. So
Right.
I imagine that one title helps spur on some more 3DS sales. And again, it proves that it's actually about the games and not, I mean, price drop and the games. It's a good combination.
Yeah, no, I agree fully.
All right, what's next?
Okay, so last story for today. I don't know why we always end on a bad note. Not that this really isn't a bad note, or is a bad note rather. It's just kind of a really still. Nintendo has basically courted the French government and put pressure on them, and they have banned the sale of R4 like cartridges. So any of the homebrew carts out there, they're pretty much illegal everywhere in the world now. I mean, they're illegal in the US, they're illegal in Australia, they're illegal in Europe, and now they're illegal in France. Seems like the only place where you can get them is Canada. They're not illegal here yet for some strange reason. So, but yeah, Nintendo's really putting the gears to all the governments around, saying that they're only used for pirating and copying games and stealing and blah, 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 blah. Even though they do have a valid use, but I'm sure 99% of people that own one don't use it for that, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, they put more pressure on another government, and it is now illegal in another part of the world. So the more you know. I don't even know. But I wanted to make mention of that anyway.
Cool.
All right,
I
man.
think that's it, dude.
Yeah, that was 50 minutes already. So we did a pretty long show. Lots to talk about. It wasn't just a whole big bitch fest like the last couple shows we've done where we just were jaded and pissed off. There's some good news now. It's good. There's some great games. I'm looking forward to so many games on my 3DS. It's not even funny. Like
I just hope
Faults
that your
and
announcements
all.
get longer as far as what games are coming out, and I hope that you don't encompass like 2 months worth of release dates. And it's it used to be like back in the day where we would complain about Bratz DS,
Yeah.
but at the same time
Ponies.
that tells you that there's a healthy system.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Because people care about it, and even though it's crap, you got to take the good with the bad.
One other thing that's kind of good, I've noticed in going to game stores that the price point of $45 is kind of non-existent now. Most games are coming out at $39.99. And there's even some companies that are dropping the price further. There was some games, what was it? Tom Clancy's Raving Rabbids, maybe a couple other games, which dropped to $25. And that's their normal price now. And one of the games came out like 3 weeks before it had a price drop. So I think developers are realizing that $40 is a stupid price for a portable game that is meant for children, because parents are going to not want to buy like a bunch of $40 games, while they would probably be okay with buying multiple $20 games like as the months go on. $40 is a very scary amount. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a family of 3 or 4 going to a movie, and going out for dinner. Like that's real money for nights out, especially in this time when a lot of people don't have a lot of money because of the economics out there and the banks faltering and all that other crap. $20, $25, $30, that's a little bit more stomachable. So hopefully Nintendo starts pushing their new games out at a little bit cheaper, drive the price points down a little bit, and that will help with the 3DS get more people out there buying games as well, which would be a really good thing, and make sure that this little awesome device sticks around for years to come.
Exactly.
Cool.
All right, dude, let's put a bow on this guy.
All right, we're about done with this episode. We definitely want to hear from you guys. Let's put on some music. I haven't done that for a while. Put on some Donkey Kong Country because I love Donkey Kong Country. Definitely want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you think. Head on over to vgpodcast.com. Click contact us at the top of the page to send us an email. You can email us directly at vgpodcasts@gmail.com or call our voicemail line, which is 505 VG Podcasts. That's 505-847-6322. The name of this episode is Shibby Awesome, and that comes from Jay Cobb in the chat room. I asked for a name and he threw it out there, so that's why it's called Shibby Awesome. And that's gonna about do it for this episode. Thanks to everybody for coming out in the chat room. We had a lot of you guys out there, a lot of you guys checking us out live at vgpodcast.com/live, and there'll be more from the VG Podcast Network in the future. Sorry for the break. It won't happen again until next September.
Until next year.
All right, guys, take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you later, guys.
Later.